Okay, so we've got Monk versus Paladin here. My initial appraisal is that the Paladin should win this easily because Paladin just outclasses Monk by a shit ton. Like, Paladin's got great sustain, great damage reduction, good damage, and Monk doesn't have that much stuff. Like, not much sustain, not much damage, nothing special. It can't really enfeeble opponent like Paladin can still cast stuff like Flash and stuff. Basically, one of the rules of thumb here is you can see that the Paladin can cast magic and the Monk can't. So just the ability to cast magic just gives you so much more versatility and just a whole nother like dimension to your game that the Monk just does not have, and that's part of the reason my Paladin is just going to outclass the Monk in this fight. So I'm expecting the Paladin to win very easily, unless the Paladin is like the biggest retard on in the earth. So I don't, yeah. So anyways, let's get into some of the analysis here. So sub-job choices is pretty much one of the most important things you can decide when you're going into 1 vs. 1 match. Back in my day, in public matches, Paladin would almost always exclusively sub Red Mage because it was just a great sub-job choice. You got like just for like Phalanx and Gravity alone are incredibly strong spells. And Fast Cast is very useful in PvP because the people you're playing against are not stupid AI opponents. They're going to try to intentionally interrupt your spells, and having Fast Cast to get those spells off, like those Clutch Cure 4s off and stuff, is going to be that much more helpful. But these days, Paladin doesn't have to sub Red Mage anymore to get Phalanx, and in this match, it's probably just going to be a toe-to-toe fight. Like not much kiting is going to happen here, I'm expecting. So the Gravity is not that much of a useful spell. So there is other things that Paladin could be subbing. Things I can think of is a Blue Mage for Cocoon is really strong damage defense bonus, and you get some Headbutt in there, so like extra utility. Scholar sub also possible. You get 100% sleep resistance, which is not really a factor in this case, but you still get some other spells. You get Light Arts, I think, gives you some fast cast on your cures, which is still good. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention Dispel. Red Mage sub job gets Dispel, which is amazingly useful, and Scholar sub job gets Dispel too. Like your opponent's always gonna be doing stuff that's gonna buff themselves, and being able to dispel that is extremely useful. So yeah, I probably still personally pick Red Mage sub job for the Paladin because I'm just old school like that. But yeah, there's alternatives that work out okay. As far as the Monk sub job, like I said, the Monk is pretty screwed here. I used to play Monk main when I did Ballista, and if I had to do my best to beat this Paladin, I'd probably try to gear incredibly evasively because Paladin, normally not stacking too much accuracy. They're normally building more tank than building more damage. So stacking evasion against the Paladin can work out okay. And then I'd probably pick a sub job like Dancer because, as mentioned, the Paladin is really great at sustaining, and the Monk is really bad at sustaining. So the Paladin sustain is just going to dominate the Monk. So the Monk has to get some kind of extra utility out of their sub job, like that can just help them do anything. Like Dancer sub job you can at least continuously heal yourself and get something out of it, but it's still looking pretty hopeless for the Monk. As far as other sub jobs Monk might consider, back when I played, I almost always subbed Paladin because, like I said, just extra utility there, and you can cure yourself. Being able to cure yourself and for some sustain is just huge. But in this particular one, I must think that would be better. And other sub job for Monk would be good is Blue Mage sub job again, extra defense and also able to cure yourself. Just you need if you're a job like Monk who's already like just dying for some kind of an edge because you need to get some kind of extra utility out of the sub job. So that's what I'd be picking there. Let's take a look. Let's start the video and see what we have here. So Paladin gets to buff a little bit. That's an advantage for the Paladin. And let's see what we got for gear. Okay, so first off, Paladin is subbing Scholar. So yeah, I mentioned that's one of the three I mentioned. So it's a legitimate sub job choice. For gear, we got Kingsley attacks twice. Sword looks pretty good. AF3 plus 2 head. Oh, enhances fast cast. Like I said, fast cast really nice. Converts damage taken MP. Just great for sustain. Great piece there. Body piece. 20 accuracy on it. That's actually nice accuracy. Like I said, Paladin could. I'd be a bit worried with accuracy about facing sub jobs like Monk who can be evasive with dodge and maybe some evasion gear. So accuracy 20 really nice. Lots of HP and MP. Man, that's nice. Might have gets damage taken based on MP. Yeah, whatever. Shadow Mantle, that's pretty old school. I'd always wear one of those things. I'm not sure if there's something better in there, but yeah, pretty good. Creed Belt, okay. HP 40, Magic Defense 4, MD 5. Okay, this belt looks pretty suspect. Just by looking overall here, this looks like this Paladin is gearing pretty defense oriented, and defense isn't everything. You need to have some damage, like just a haste ball. I think nice, like lower recast time on the flashes and other spells. Just extra haste for more damage output. I think it's just doing. I think Speedbelt's going to do more for you than that belt is. Creed gauntlets, haste, yeah, looking nice. Neck piece, yeah, extra refresh. Cure potency on the body there. Haste plus 4%, physical damage plus 5%, looks really nice. On the leg slot, feet, well, even more accuracy there, just 14 accuracy, that's just a huge extra benefit there for that piece. More haste, of course. Blitz ring, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with the blitz ring if you're not wearing a speed belt. Actually, with the new gear these days, I think actually maybe the Paladin is already capped on haste, in which case picking his people would be a bad idea. I didn't actually look that deep into that. Nightly earring, that looks like a pretty big waste. Spell interruption is usually pretty useless. Weapon bash, shield bash, yeah, that's not good. If I was a serious Paladin trying to win a 1v1 match, a great earring would be that. Yeah, of course, maybe this earring is used for other things, but a great earring would be that. Earring that gives you TP regen while engaged, because Atonement is a great weapon skill. It's unavoidable, strong damage, and like I said, Paladin is really good at long, sustained fights where you just slowly whittle the opponent down, and over that long period of time, the Paladin's going to get a significant TP from that that earring. Especially if you're going to get a job like that's going to try to kite you, like maybe a mage job. Just over time, you can still just cure off some damage and stay in there, and eventually you'll get under TP, and you can maybe get some surprise burst damage with like a Atonement and a Holy or something and make something good happen for yourself. So I'm a big fan of that earring, which this Paladin isn't using, but it's not going to matter in this fight. It's going to be an easy win for the Paladin either way. Fast cast in the ammo slot. Yeah, looks pretty nice. Okay, we got for the monk here. Oh shit, ninja sub job. In team play, ninja sub job is absolutely terrible. I would never recommend that for a monk. Or for most jobs for that matter. The only time you would ever sub ninja in a public match is if you have if you got an evasion build to kind of work together with the shadows to really mitigate lots of damage, lots of physical damage. But yeah, this monk from first look doesn't look very evasive, and ninja sub is just terrible. Like you're not getting any utility out of that sub job. All you get is shadows, and while you're casting the shadows, you're not doing anything. You're not doing any damage. The Paladin still gets to attack you. They still get to slowly get their mana back from auto refresh. And if you get interrupted, it's even worse. You just take free damage for the Paladin, free TP for the Paladin, and Monk is just standing there wasting time casting shadows. And especially in this particular case against a Paladin with a one-handed sword, those shadows are not going to be lasting very long. And I'm not sure if Scholar Sub can cast like Diaga and stuff to clear shadows off. Red Mage Sub definitely can. And yeah, those shadows are not going to be lasting very long. And the Monk spending time to cast shadows is just going to delay the inevitable, really. The shadows are not going to swing the tide in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, you need to get more utility out of the sub job. And Ninja is not providing that. It's just disgusting. Like, it's so unsynergistic with the monk. Like, yeah, not good. So what we got for gear here? Okay, so we got the Emperor in hand to hand. Yeah, good, really good. I think probably best damage thing for the monks. That's pretty nice. Tantra crown, lots of haste, good defense, pretty good. Yeah, martial arts on the body, solid stuff here. Boxer's mantle. This looks, I'm not sure about this because the monk's not building evasion, so the evasion plus 10 is not going to help. Shield and parrying obviously don't help, and guarding skill. Really, all he's getting out of this back piece is guarding skill plus 10, and guarding is not. Yeah, man, I'd prefer Shadow Mantle good, but nobody has that, or even just a straight up Gigant Mantle for 80 extra HP. Like in this particular case against the Paladin, you're hopeless. But if you're fighting Monk versus Monk or something, or Monk versus Warrior, and it's just a raw damage fight, then 80 extra HP could swing the tide in your favor. But yeah, I'm not liking the Boxer's Mantle. Black Belt obviously not required. Gloves, yeah, more haste, more good shit there. Twilight Torque, damage reduction, always nice. I personally wear that on my monk all the time. Brutal Earring, yeah. Radis Ring, yeah. And again, in this case, not going to make much of a difference, but like I said, perhaps in just a raw damage fight, having extra HP from like a Bomb Queen Ring or whatever may just to give you that extra edge, because 5 strength, 5 dex, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, the Tantra Hose, yeah, because we haste. Okay, Melee Gators. This is a big problem here. In team play, using Counter Sense is almost never a good idea. It's just so risky, and yeah, and in this 1 versus 1 match here, like maybe the monk was thinking, okay, I can I'll sub Ninja and I can like counter while I'm casting my Uchisemi and it'll work out. But you know, the Paladin's not retarded here. The Paladin can just spin around behind the Monk and avoid the counters and get bonus damage because the Monk has reduced the defense to nothing. And the Paladin can flash, and while the Monks flash, they're not going to be able to counter that much because they're blinded. So yeah, counter stance is just really dubious. And even if the Paladin decided they didn't want to risk the counter stance, the Paladin can just dispel that counter stance away. And yeah, not good to rely on counter stance. And again, guarding skill not that huge. HP 4% is good, but I think you could do much better in the feat slot here for the Monk. Opponent's ring, extra damage, yeah, more damage in the earring, and counter tap them, okay. So let's start the match here. Like I said, Paladin should win this very easily. Opening Sentinel by the Paladin, that looks pretty fucking dumb. I don't know what you're doing that for. You should save that. Save Sentinel for like if the Monk's about to weapon skill you or something like that. Opening Sleep just takes out a Shadow, I guess, why not. Monk Chi Blast, probably for some TP reduction from the Merit. And Monks, look how fast those Shadows are already going down. Monk already has to stop to catch his semi-knee. They get a counter, but yeah, not doing much. Paladin taking lots of zeros, probably still nicely buffed from Phalanx and Stone Skin. Monk already has to use Chakra, just that's the only form of sustain, and it's already gone. Like, you can see shit's already not going good for the Monk at all. Use Dodge. Manifestation, not sure what the Paladin's going to do with that yet. Just more taking no damage from the Monk. The Monk really should be spinning around here and trying to hit the Paladin from the back. Especially when they're casting spells to avoid the interruption that the Paladin gets, spell interruption from the Paladin gets from the shield blocking. But yeah, and the Paladin should also be running around too, trying to avoid some counters. But anyways, none of the people are doing that. They're just taking it really easy, and they're just trading damage, and the Paladin's just going to take way less damage, and if they want to, they can cure it off. Region 2, not a good idea. That's a long spell. Yeah, just going to get interrupted. Not worth waste of time there for the Paladin. Loss of time for the Paladin. Not a good idea there. Flash, always a good spell to cast. You get great damage mitigation for a low MP cost, and it's not going to get interrupted. Monk casts Itzy, and Paladin just gets a free reprisal cast off. Like I said, this Semi casting is just not good for the Monk. They're just losing shadows already. Like, it's just not synergizing with them. They're just wasting time casting that stuff, not benefiting from it really. Poor sub job choice. Again, don't sub Ninja on Monk or most jobs. And just more trading damage. Reprisal just can't do shit to that. Morph, Manifestation, whatever. Drain. Like, if the Monk was spinning around the Paladin there, they could have hit him from the back and maybe interrupted that, but they're not doing that. But still doesn't matter. Monk's still hopeless. Interrupted again on the cast, just got nothing. Paladin could even spin around to avoid the counter there, but they didn't. And Flash for the finish, and yep, triple win for the Paladin. Monk's got like no chance.